Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Orioles were able to take the first two games against the Diamondbacks, but were unable to really do much of anything. Well, Sunday's game, we're not able to sweep. Disappointing, but at the same time, many good things that came out of the series. The 2 games out of 3, we won the series. That's a good thing against the defending National League champions. As you can see, I'm on MASNsports.com. Let's get to the first game. Arizona Diamondbacks 2, Baltimore Orioles 4. This game from Camden Yards. This was Friday's game. I went to this game. This was Mr. Splash bobblehead. This one right here. You can see that. Also had guest splasher out there in the bird bath, David Rubenstein. Yes, one of the new owners. He didn't last very long. It was a very wet game, even especially with the bird bath out there. They got the game in, which is important, I guess. Somewhat rainy weekend. Henderson, 1 hit, an RBI, and a run scored. Also walked once. Rutzman, just 1 hit to speak of. Well, it's somewhat disappointing. O'Hearn, a hit, an RBI, walked twice. Good to really like seeing the Orioles work the count. They don't really work the count that well at times. They jump all over pitches, and then next thing you know, 3 innings later, Orioles pitcher is up to like 50 pitches while the opposing pitcher is at like 25 pitches. Somewhat puzzling. Mountcastle, a hit and a run scored. Santander, a hit and a run scored. McKenna came in defense replacement late. Did not get in a bat. Cowser 0 for 3. Did walk once. Westberg, hitting an RBI. Mullins, sadly didn't get a hit, but he did get an RBI. Ground ball to the infield, but allowed a runner from third base to score. Why, it's not like a fielder's choice or something, but he was thrown out at the first base, so I guess you would think it would be like a sacrifice, right? You have a sacrifice fly. Why can't you have a sacrifice ground ball? It's the same thing, really. You're trading it out for a run. I don't know why there's no sacrifice. If it was a sacrifice, it would be 3 at-bats. It would be 0 for 3 instead of 0 for 4, which isn't necessarily great, but you like that he was able to put the ball in a spot that allowed the run to score. Mateo, a hit and a run scored. Mateo actually has a higher average than Cedric Mullins. Now, Cedric Mullins has about twice as many at-bats, but somewhat surprising that Mullins is struggling this much. Henderson, Westberg with doubles. And that is it as far as the extra base hits. Not great. Cole Irvin gets a start in this one. Goes 5 2/3 of an innings pitched. Gives up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, walks 1, strikes out 6. Yeah. Cole Irvin is saying, yeah, it's not me that's getting bumped out of the rotation. You bump somebody else, Brandon Hyde. Bump somebody else. John Means had a bad outing. Bump him. Very good performance by Cole Irvin. He's really turned it around. I guess this is why they traded for him before the start of last year. They saw the potential with some more work with him that he would get better. Didn't really show it too much last year, but he's really turned it around this year. So it's great. Get some other guys to turn around, let's say Cedric Mullins and Anthony Santander. Suarez comes in to finish the 6th inning. It's kind of odd that your Suarez, your long man, only pitches a third of an inning. It was kind of odd to me, but it worked, right? Though defined, it worked because Suarez did give up a hit. He got an out, but he did give up a hit before. So, oh well. Craig Kimbrell coming in the 7th inning. Yes, Craig Kimbrell pitching in the 7th inning. What's the score at this time? Yeah, see, the Orioles got a tack-on run in the 7th inning. So at this time, it was 3-2 Orioles. So yes, it's not the 9th inning. But in the 7th inning, 3-2 game isn't exactly a no leverage situation. It's a stressful situation because one swing of the bat and your opponent can tie up the game. And Camden Yards, yeah, maybe not hitting the ball to left field, but hitting the ball to right field, yeah, you can tie it up real easy. Asked after the game, Brandon Hyde said it was something to the effect of, paraphrasing here, just trying to ease him into it. I was struggling at close in the closer role, had some kind of back issue. Throwing him right back in there didn't exactly work out well. So let's take a step back, and instead of, releasing him, because that would be kind of silly. Contracts are guaranteed. So let's try to figure out where we can put Kimbrell that he can get us outs. Well, here you go in the 7th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. That's works for me. Jacob Webb starts out the 8th inning. He gets 2 outs in the inning. No hits, no runs. Does walk a batter, no strikeouts. Again, here's Jacob Webb and Cionel Perez tag teaming the 8th inning. Hyde working the matchups, helping the bullpen get outs, putting them in positions for them to succeed. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts for Perez, but he does get the last out of the 8th inning. Cano on for the save. Yeah, he does give up a hit. Disappointing, but no runs, no walks. He gets the save, strikes out a batter. It's well played game, well managed game overall. Yes. Game 2, Saturday's game. This one took 11 innings. Arizona Diamondbacks 4, Baltimore Orioles 5. As you can see, 10th inning and the 11th inning came around and the Diamondbacks were not able to push that extra runner across. Twice. Oriole pitching did it to him in the 10th inning, and they did it to him again in the 11th inning. Luckily, the Orioles were not shut out in extra innings like the Diamondbacks were. Henderson, 2 hits, an RBI, a run scored, and a walk. Rutschman, 0. Kennan pinch ran later. The McCann in there at catcher. O'Hearn, 1 hit, 1 RBI, also walked once. Getting his walks. That's why he's still in there. He's working the walks, too. It's not only getting hits, he's working the walks. It's just as good. Because you're getting on base. Making a pitcher throw a bunch of pitches, not only tiring him out, but you're allowing yourself and the rest of the lineup to see how he's pitching, how the opposing pitcher is pitching, what pitches he has, where he likes to throw them, what speeds he's going to throw them at. It is very useful. Mountcastle, 3 hits. He didn't get any RBIs, but not that many people were on in front of him. Scored once. Santander, a hit, an RBI, a run scored, and a walk. Good to see Santander work a walk as well. Get into the count deeper. It's a little more in your favor than, let's say, the pitcher's favor. Another reason why working a count is good for you and the team. Cowser, a hit and a run scored. Westberg, 4 hits and 2 RBIs. Had the game winner in this one. Heston Kjerstad got the start. If you notice, Cowser here got the start in center field. Mullins on the bench. Yeah, there was a righty on the mound. Well, Mullins isn't hitting, that's why. And Kjerstad goes 0 for 3. So, yeah. Mullins comes in later in the game because you got to put the speed out there, especially for the extra innings, and then doesn't get a hit either. It's like no matter who they put out there, the outfielders just they're barely hitting the ball. I mean, Hayes was hitting like trash. Mullins hitting like trash. Santander is wow. He can get some doubles and he can get some home runs, but other than that, he can't really do too much else, or he's not doing too much else. Cowser had a great first month that he was starting, but since then, not really much of anything. Keep thinking that Kjerstad is the answer. Well, Kjerstad in the outfield, no. I think his defense is very suspect. And listening to the radio going to the game, was it Friday, I think it was? I want to say it was Jason Lockenfora mentioning this. The reason why Mullins is still here and should stay on the team is because when you put another outfielder out there and you watch them play defense, you sit there and you say, oh yeah, that's why we keep Cedric Mullins out there. Because Cedric would have gotten to that ball. I don't know how exactly Cedric ranks defensively against other center fielders in the league, but he's got to be up there. I mean, you see the way he goes and tracks some of these balls, some of the diving catches he's made. He doesn't have the greatest arm in the world, but how many outs and base runners has he saved pitchers this year and his whole career? He's a superior defender in the outfield. He is. I mean, there's no real other way to say it. He's a superior defender in the outfield. And it's not like he's just a guy out there. He is a superior defender. So it's at least one position that you're just going to have to put up with that he's not hitting as well. Because who the hell else is playing center field? Yes, Cowser can do the job. He absolutely can. Is he as good as Cedric Mullins? No. He's not. I mean, he's not a terrible outfielder either. But at the same time, you know, Cowser's out there, Santander's out there, Mullins is on the bench. Okay, who's playing left field? Well, Austin Hayes isn't here, which could help. Like if, say, you platoon Mullins and Hayes. Ooh. Or maybe you do a 3-man platoon between Mullins, Hayes, Cowser. Or really, you just make the outfield a giant platoon, I guess. I don't know where baseball came up with that word. I was in the United States Army for 10 years. I know what a platoon is. A 2-man rotation between one position. How is that a platoon? Whatever. Just going to have to deal with Cedric Mullins not hitting. Put him in the bottom of the lineup. When the blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, then you know what? Cedric Mullins is on base for Gunnar Henderson. Seems okay to me. And you know what? Put Mateo down there at the bottom too, because that's like how much speed on the base pass back to back. I think that could help Mullins. They get him better pitches to hit. Because you got to, especially if you have Mullins and Mateo back to back, you have to keep them off the base paths. You get one or even two of them guys on in front of Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman, you in trouble. Because they're going to run all over the place. And you don't want to deal with that when you're facing Gunnar Henderson or Adley Rutschman and then the rest of the top of the order. We'll see if Brandon Hyde goes that way. It does seem to be trending towards that. Mountcastle 2 doubles, Westburg just 1 double. Mountcastle triple. Good God, Mountcastle. Wow. Hitting the baseball here. Santander, Henderson, home runs. That's what I'm saying. Like, Santander can hit you some home runs, but for whatever reason, he can't do much of anything else. Probably because he's playing the outfield too much. It would probably benefit Santander a lot more when Hayes comes back. You put the defensive outfield out there, Mullins, Cowser, Hayes, and let Santander grab some DH time. Might benefit the man. Horsberg stole a base in this one. He's up to 5 now. Okay. I think he's got more stolen bases than Mullins. Of course, he gets on base more than Mullins. So, Johnny Means got the start in this one. Not a good outing for Johnny Means. He did not mean business this night. 4 2/3 of an innings pitched. He gave up 6 hits, 4 runs. He didn't walk anybody, which is a good thing. And he's allowing him to hit the ball all over the place. But he was at least near the strike zone. So there's that. Some silver lining there. Did strike out 3 batters. Mike Baumann. And again, they mentioned this on 105.7 The Fan. Driving yesterday. Can't remember the team that was on the radio, but they were like, just when everybody's ready to write off Mike Baumann. Right? Rodriguez is ready to come back. Who we getting rid of? Baumann. Everybody's saying, get rid of Baumann. Here comes Mike Baumann to stop the bleeding of John Means' outing. And he just throws 2 1/3 of an innings scoreless, giving up only 1 hit. Here they are, hitting the crap out of John Means and scoring a bunch of runs. And Mike Baumann, probably what we were saying was the weakest link of the bullpen for at least the past week or two, shows what everybody else out there knows. Nothing, apparently. Like he heard us all talking and got mad and then went out there and pitched mad. Well, let's keep saying it. Keegan Aiken, another guy that was kind of on the cusp of getting tossed out of the bullpen, but turned it around, especially earlier in the year. Pitches a full inning. What inning would this be? The 8th? 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Keegan Aiken pitches the 8th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. There you go. Cano on for the 9th inning. No hits, no runs, Sorry, he did walk a batter, didn't strike out a batter. But again, the no hits and no runs is fantastic. Here comes Danny Coulomb pitching the 10th inning. Keep in mind, he's got a runner on base. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Ready to come in there and shut him down, boys. Craig Kimbrell on for the 11th inning. Oh no. He's using Kimbrell? What is Brandon Hyde thinking, especially with a runner on out there? Well, Craig Kimbrell just shows you all that you don't know shit. No hits, no runs, no walks, strikes out a batter. Gets the win. Wow. How quickly things can turn from really bad to good. Just hope that some of the hitters like, say, Mullins can do that. Because they have value, right? I mean, Kimbrell has value. He has the experience and the mental moxie to be a closer and to finish out games. Arm slot and back tightness, yeah, it's going to hurt you. Being an old man and not being able to pitch every other day, that also can hurt you as well. Somewhat early in the year, but we'll see. I don't know why I have to scroll up every day. I guess I didn't scroll back up. I did my review. Pre-show. Wow. And all that good stuff I said about the first 2 games, wow, it just went right out the window for the 3rd game. Arizona Diamondbacks 9, Baltimore Orioles 2. This was Sunday's game, series finale. Wow. Nobody wanted to show up Sunday. Henderson, 0 struck out once. Rutschman, a hit, RBI run scored. Solo home run. Ryno Hearn actually got to start in left field today. so Rutschman could DH. I know. I say I don't want Rutschman to DH, and I do want to get rid of this solo home run. Well, it was 9-2, so what did Rutschman's solo home run do for us? Not much of anything. Because we still needed 7 more runs to tie. So I would have rather him not play. I would have rather that. Personal preference, so. Mountcastle, over. Yeah, you're not going to win too many games when your cleanup hitter and your leadoff hitter are going over. Not even working walks either. Santander hitting a run scored. Westberg a hit, an RBI, and 2 walks. You hate to suggest moving Westberg up in the order because you never know if certain positions in a lineup actually help drive a player's success. But I've mentioned this before. I want to drop Henderson at least 2 spots in the lineup. I would prefer Henderson to bat third, keep Rutschman at second, hitting second. I think he's an ideal second place hitter. I want somebody else to lead off. Somebody that can work walks, can work count, and has a good average because I want them on for Henderson. I want them on base. So Henderson has people to drive in. Doesn't matter how many hits or how many home runs Gunnar Henderson hits. If there's nobody on base, who cares? Could Westberg be a leadoff hitter? Based on his average, based on his on-base percentage, say yes, he has that ability. But note where he's been in the lineup. Between the 5 and the 7 hole. Could that affect him being able to hit the ball? It's possible. It's possible. But maybe Brandon Hyde should give it a shot. Colt Cowser, over. Ramon Arias, over. Cowser and Arias did work walks in there. McCann, over. Yeah, bats just didn't show up. Santander, Westberg, home run. Doubles. Sorry, doubles. But there you go. Like I said, Santander can get doubles and home runs. Can't do a whole lot of anything else. Probably because he's played a lot of games this year. He really has played a lot this year. He's not a young man anymore like Henderson. So he could use a day off every once in a while. He really could. Santander, Westberg, doubles. Try that again to make sure I say the right words. Rutschman, home run. That's what it was. Yeah. It's really the big thing that really allowed the Diamondbacks to win this game. Kramer throwing error, trying to pick a guy off. Arias throwing error, pulled McCann off the plate, unable to get the outs. Kind of hurt you. The errors. Other than that, Kramer's line looked really good. 5 2/3 of an inning pitch, only gave up 4 hits. That's good. That's really good, actually. Did allow 6 runs to score, only 3 of them earned. Walked 4, which isn't that good. It's not. You would take 4 walks if you didn't allow any hits, right? You got 4 hits and you got 4 walks in not even 6 innings pitching. I don't like that. Of course, then you come over to this number and wait, what? 10 strikeouts. How is that possible? You had almost 2 strikeouts in the inning, but yet you also gave up 4 hits and 4 walks? Not even possible. It doesn't seem possible. Because you see the 10 strikes, it's he had a great outing. The way he gave up how many runs and walked how many guys? Okay. Weird is what that is. But, all right. Ciano Perez tries to put an end to the 6th inning, which he technically does, but not before allowing 3 runs to score. Perez gets the final out in the 6th inning, and that's it. Gives up 3 hits, 3 runs, walks 1, and strikes out 1. He gave up 3 hits and a walk. before he was able to get the final out of the inning. Man, that's whatever. Stupid. I even pushed that alarm back. Takes me too long to get through some of these videos sometimes. And because I just talk too damn much. Suarez saves the bullpen. Yes, doesn't really save the game, but he saves the bullpen. He's able to come in and pitch the final 3 innings of the game. The 7th, 8th, and 9th. Maybe he should have been in there. Apparently. Because in those 3 innings, he only gives up 1 hit. Doesn't give up any runs. Doesn't walk a batter. And then strikes 3 out. The road not taken, I guess, huh? Because, I mean, again, this is hindsight. It's hindsight, not hindsight. Hindsight is, the decisions Brandon Hyde makes in the moment. Hindsight is me sitting here criticizing all. I mean, think if you just, move Suarez up a batter or 2, right? Instead of starting out in the 7th inning, you start in the 6th inning with 2 outs. What would happen there? Honestly, it doesn't matter because the Orioles didn't hit anything. But, I mean, a great performance by Suarez. Oh, well, look at this. WP. Wild pitch by Perez as well. Wow. Damn. Just when I was talking all this good stuff about Cionel Perez and how he was turning around back after his injury. Dud of an outing. It's disappointing. But, I mean, it does happen, I guess. I mean, that's what they say. I mean, a Major League Baseball player, you're going to fail 2 out of 3 times. It's just the nature of it, I guess. Let's get to this article. What the hell? Why did I pick this article? Oh, Rodriguez. That's right. Jesus. Spent so long talking about the series, I forgot what this was about. This article written by Rock Kubatko. He's giving us all an injury update on Grayson Rodriguez through you can see it right there. A bullpen session over the weekend. Everything's progressing. Most likely he will throw another one before a decision is going to be made, whether he'll just come back to the roster and go right into the rotation, or whether he'll do a rehab assignment. Since he's only missed I don't know how many starts has Grayson missed. 2 starts, maybe? It's not a whole lot for a starting pitcher, seeing as how they only pitch once every 5 days. So losing them for 2 weeks isn't necessarily that bad and doesn't always require them to go on a rehab assignment. But who you take it out of the rotation, that's part of the problem. Just have to wait and see within the next 2 days. He's eligible to come off the injury list Wednesday. Because Wednesday would be the 15th. He was put on there retroactive to the... Actually, I think Tuesday will be his last day, and Wednesday would be his first day off the injured list. Based on, as far as eligibility, right? Because you have to be on the injured list a minimum of 15 days. You can be on there more, but you have to be on there 15 days. It's just saving roster spots and, making sure the injury is legitimate. And you're not just stashing him somewhere. All right, that's it for that. Let's get to the schedule and get out of here. Wrap this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report up. Monday, that's today, starting a series with the Toronto Blue Jays. Monday, today, scheduled for 6:35. Tuesday, tomorrow, also scheduled for 6:35. Wednesday's game scheduled for 12 35. Yeah, that's right. Baseball before 1 o'clock. Little annoying, but oh well. That's going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Stay tuned for Thursday. Thursday, Orioles have an off day. So that'll be the next episode or edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. And I will discuss the series between the Toronto Blue Jays, who are coming into Camden Yards, and the Baltimore Orioles. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.